Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to some more Starseries Season 4. This is still just round 1, so this sort of league play setup. So this is going to be Illuminate up against Fnatic.EU. As always, I'm basically bringing you guys these games as part of my daily casting practice, and I have been extremely eager to get more practice in since Defense of the Amateur semifinals and grand finals are coming up in the next 2 days. If you guys are around, you should definitely tune in and watch those, but hoping to have a good showing for that, so going to get some more practice in with my casting, and then hopefully everything will go reasonably well, or as well as we could hope. Looks like we're just waiting for an administrator or someone to load in right now. This is just a replay, obviously, as most of my casting practice is, but yep, looks like that last admin or spectator is going to load in, and then we'll be able to get underway with the draft. As always, if you guys have anything that you'd like me to cast, then feel free to just send me a message or something. I will do scrims if you want me to cover your scrims live. I can set up a stream, something like that. If you have a pub game that you'd like me to cast, I'm happy to do whatever. So anyway, without much further rambling from me, going to be getting underway with the draft. So Fnatic going to ban out the Bounty Hunter and Illuminate even with the first pick. Going to be banning out the Magnus here. And Magnus definitely a big flavor of the month at the moment. Banning, picks and bans haven't become effectively standard yet. We see a lot of games where even a hero like the Bat, which is heavily favored by some teams, ends up making it all the way through and is sort of ignored. So we'll have to see what's going to happen here, but pretty much the two strongest long laners in the game at the moment being banned out. And worth noting is that there's a big preference right now sort of for putting melee heroes on that off lane. It's much easier for them just to be able to get up levels, get up XP. Dirge is actually giving me the ban, so either a tri lane or the long lane solo banned out there. And the point about soloing the long lane as melee is not only do the melee heroes tend to be a little bit more survivable just by the nature of sort of the game, but because of how denying works against melee versus ranged, and for those of you who may not be familiar with it, denying against melee is actually much less effective than denying against a ranged hero. So it does mean that even if you're getting heavily denied as melee, it doesn't hurt as much, and it's just to compensate for the fact of a little bit of the imbalance between ranged and melee in lane. But it means that putting a melee hero on your long lane solo, he's going to get quite a bit of XP regardless, even with really heavy denying from the opposite team. So Bat is actually going to be banned out here by Illuminate, so Darkseer is going to be picked up by Fnatic, and Illuminate could look for the Templar Assassin at the moment. She's probably the other big pick that has made it through. The Jakiro and the Sven also worth mentioning as sort of those big, very popular heroes at the moment, but we'll have to see what Illuminate do end up opting for. And they've been playing extremely strong at the moment. I've watched a few games of Illuminate and Fnatic in this tournament, and they've both had a great showing. So this is looking to be a great game, and it's actually going to be Wisp as the first pick and the TA to combo up there as well. Maybe not, we're probably not going to see them together. Wisp, they could use it to sort of try and form up a tri-lane. Could see them picking up something like the Tiny or the Chaos Knight for their safe lane. With the Chaos Knight gives you some pretty good kill potential as always. The Reality Rift does guarantee a tether stun, but Jakiro and Sven going to be the pickups here for Fnatic, so that's probably going to be up on their safe lane. They could run a tri lane if they would like. The Jakiro obviously a good pickup against the TA, gives them some more dots to help chew through those refraction charges, lessen that survivability. And Sven going to be absolutely terrifying, especially with the cleave. Wisp, while he is a ranged hero with that tether, trying to stay sort of in the middle of fights, just dancing around the edges, but cleave going to be doing some big damage, and Wisp going to be taking the brunt of that. So we'll have to see if the Sven can get rolling, but if Fnatic are going to be putting him on the safe lane, it should be absolutely no problem. Illuminate, they don't have a long laner right now. Again, they could still look for an aggressive tri-lane with that Wisp, and then some stunner +2. Wisp, as always, does make better use of your regen than any hero in the game. Gets obviously personal regen, and then he gets 1.5 times on all the HP regen via the tether, so can stretch your consumables out a little bit further Screen flickered there. I think my drivers are still freaking out a little bit, but Illuminate, they're going to go with the Lifestealer, and I really like the next pickup. With the Wisp, you can tether Wisps to someone. You know, Lifestealer jumps aboard with the Infest, and you've got 3-man global ganking with a few stuns, a great slow on the open wounds, and whoever they bring along, it should be a fairly easy kill every single time. So Fnatic, their one response, probably going to be playing, play 5-man Dota as early as they can, so they can't be picked off while they're alone. Expect reasonably heavy dewarding as well. Hopefully could see an early gem as well, just to make sure that Illuminate don't have tabs on every one of Fnatic's heroes all the time. And the Wisp, another good pickup as well. Radiant do have reasonably bad control, sort of over Roshan, but having those global teleports does help out in that regard. So Titan just going to be banned out here by Fnatic. Both teams running a little bit light on the team fight at the moment. I have to give the edge right now to Fnatic with the Darkseer and the Jakiro. And Disruptor, sort of another AoE support, can be banned out here by Illuminate. And Disruptor, a good response to the Wisp as well. You can just relocate one of those heroes back every single time, but we'll see what heroes Fnatic end up opting for to round out their lineup. Again, probably going to be looking to go reasonably early, look to play some 5-man Dota. Brewmaster going to be banned out, and definitely one of those heroes that as soon as you start getting that ultimate online, as soon as he starts getting even the smallest amount of farm, can just start taking teamfight after teamfight. And with that ban, Illuminate may be suspecting that Fnatic are going to be going for an aggressive tri-lane on the hard lane. Brewmaster could have been taking that safe lane solo, or we have been seeing some teams running the Brewmaster as a solo mid against the Templar Assassin. It's a slightly different build. You end up getting some points in the Drunken Haze, and just continuously spamming that on the TA makes it extremely difficult for her to last hit. Brewmaster doesn't take all that much harass, and it's a lane that he can easily win. It's not a very easy lane if he goes a more standard build with some points in the Stomp and Stats, or Stomp and Brawler, but Enchantress as well can be banned up by Fnatic. That was just a little bit ago, and so last bans right now for both teams. Fnatic probably looking for a solo mid. They could send the Darkseer there, but that really does waste his long lane potential. They could look for a Chen as well. Lifestealer obviously does enjoy having a Chen around. It means that he's got those buffed up creeps to jump into in the teamfights. Good source of health. But it's going to be one jungler banned out by Illuminate in the Enigma, and Chen is going to be picked up by Fnatic here. So safe lane more than likely going to be Jakiro, Sven, Chen in the jungle, so good potential there. Darkseer is going to be on the hard lane, and that just means that I need to pick up a mid to try and deal with the Templar Assassin. There is the Queen of Pain, though obviously you can dodge the Shadow Strike with the meld, so not the best control there for the Quap. They could send the Darkseer mid, pick up another long laner here, but Broodmother's actually going to be the pickup, so it looks like it may just be Broodmother perhaps on that hard lane. Darkseer actually heading towards mid to try and deal with this TA using that Ion Shell. And going to be getting some good levels as well. Leshrac picked up by Illuminate, so Wisp nakes Leshrac, so there's some huge kill potential there among those heroes. They don't have a long laner just yet, but they might be looking to run an aggressive tri-lane, especially if they can get some wards up early, keep the Chen away from the lane. Then it is 3v2, reasonably winnable for Illuminate, and the Jakiro and the Sven don't have a lot of outs. As soon as the Sven starts using those Storm Bolts, he's got a very limited number of them early on, so if he's having to use them defensively, not able to pick up kills with them, then the lane will not be looking great for them. And sorry, just more visual glitches on my end. It does seem to be extremely prevalent during the draft screen, so sorry about that. So Lone Druid, that's going to be the hard lane solo for Illuminate. Just going to wait for everyone to pick up their heroes. I should make a mental note to update these graphics drivers, and we will be getting into the game, so everyone's going to pick up their heroes. Going to be running over who's playing what, probably butcher the pronunciation on some people's names, and then going to be getting underway. And again, make sure to tune in. Defense of the Amateur continues tomorrow, so one last shout out there from me. So just waiting on Broodmother to be picked up, and Broodmother right now is looking extremely spooky. I know I feel bad for one of my arachnophobic friends. I'm not sure how he's coping with it, but hopefully he's doing okay. Hopefully he hasn't come across too many broodmothers since the change. And worth noting is that because of this minor nerf to broodmother, the spiderlings are worth a lot more gold now. It has hit her pretty hard. Illuminate, they don't have all that much AoE spam. They obviously have the Leshrac, and the Lifestealer can just use the Infest to clean them up as well. But anyway, jumping over to Illuminate, we're going to have Dubas playing the Leshrac. We've got Chomi on the TA. We've got Bignum on the Lifestealer. We've got Nexus, I believe. Not sure if the 1 is supposed to be an I or an L or something. We're going to stick with Nexus for this game. And Mag is going to be on that Lone Druid. Over on Fnatic, we've got No-Tail playing his Chen. We've got Era on the Sven. We've got JK on this Darkseer heading towards mid. He's actually got a Bottle Rush set up with the 3-branch and the Tango. So Trixie is going to be on this Broodmother heading down towards the long lane. Doesn't have any wards right now, so yep, Schenkel just going to be actually dropping off the sentries there. Doesn't have space to take both, but we may see Broodmother drop the sentries back behind the tower, something like that, so Ilum might waste there. It's just trying to keep her out of the lane. And then Brood, once she gets a couple of spiderlings up, can just go back, pick those up. So we'll see how sneaky Trixie is feeling today. It is one tactic that I have heard mentioned here and there. So Illuminate just looking to 5-man defend their jungle at the moment, and looking to keep control of it. Lone Druid, it could be a bit of a refuge for him if things start to go badly. So Trixie just going to be looking to slice down all of these trees, but he is going to get caught out here. Open wounds to connect, and the tether in as well. It might be the first blood here. Trixie trying to avoid that tether stun, but just a little bit too much damage. Looks like he will be going down. So first blood already drawn by Illuminate down on this bottom lane. Unfortunately, Trixie just could not get to that web in time and was still on cooldown there. So easy first blood picked up by Illuminate. Bird not losing all that much, just a little bit of XP on these tri-lane heroes, and DD luckily going to be up on top, so Eric going to be able to pick that up. Just slightly easier last hitting for him, but he is uncontested at the moment, and it looks like Illuminate might actually be looking to run a bit of a mid pull. Not going to have Lone Druid up on that hard lane for the moment, and JK already towards this middle lane, spamming out a double Ion Shell right off the bat, looking to put the pressure on. And Mag, what's he going to be doing? I mean, Spirit Bear can come help and tank. They don't get that pull off. Doesn't even get the stack, in fact. I don't think they've cut down the correct trees to pull this off. I know that you think you have to get these two right here that I'm indicating at, so not sure that's going to be working out, but he is going to be able to get the stack off now. And Trixie now in a little bit of trouble. Sentry Ward is down. He's still got this wards in his inventory. Bonus move speed on the Leshrac, doing a ton of damage with this Edict. Trixie getting low. Tether's going to stun as well. Looks like one more right click will do it. It's going to be another kill down on this bottom lane for Illuminate at the start, and this is not what they were hoping for. And mid pull doesn't look like it was successful. In fact, they have got the trees cut down now, so should be able to pull that off. And it is stacked once. I mean, they can just use the Spirit Bear anyway, just to try and disrupt the lane control here for the Darkseer. And again, I mean, just use the Spirit Bear, pull the creep wave away, and then just have the TA safely last hit under the tower. But Darks are going to be getting some reasonable farm regardless, and up on top, absolutely no contest for Fnatic up on this top lane. But Trixie needs to be extremely careful down on this bottom lane. Knows that the sentry is there, but not really a whole lot he can do about it at the moment. Could wait for a creep wave to start coming in and then try and aggro the creeps onto the sentry with some careful placement, but these supports are keeping him out of lane perfectly. He hasn't gained any experience just yet, and these supports are already up to level 2. We saw just how dangerous that rank 1 Edict, and with the tether move speed as well, just easy kills. So Trixie hanging very, very far back right now, and not even able to get in 1200 range to pick up some experience. We've got some pulls running now as well, and Mag just going to be jungling up to start. Doesn't want to risk his life up on that hard lane. And in, I guess, a comparison of the hard lanes, yes, Illuminate have sacrificed it entirely, but they don't have any deaths, so I sort of have to give them the edge on that right now. Trixie puts on a very defensive sentry, but not going to spot anything out. Dibas now just running forward reasonably blindly. He's already got some boots picked up as well, so able to stay right on top of the Broodmother, and looks like a bear might be killed off here by Hani on this middle lane, and Mag actually just blocking with this here, getting fairly low, but the tower tanking up now. Is it going to be a meld hit? No, just refraction and side blades to start. So Hani going to be fine to get out, regenerating up for now, but he's not really disrupting Chomi on this middle lane going after the Spirit Bear there. And the push is already starting up on top. Fnatic looking to pick up some early towers. This might free up a little bit of space for the Scylla Bear to be happy to come up here. So Fortification's actually going to pop. They're looking to keep this push going, even just dominating up a melee creep. But in comes the Bear, trying to tank up for now. It has already been resummoned, however, so cannot afford to lose this Bear right now. And Fly already has that point in the Liquid Fire already picked up. So, and I'm not sure if I ran over who was playing what on Fnatic with that first blood happening on Trixie, but looks like they are going to be able to pick up this first tower up on top. But Mag is already in a position to capitalize and take advantage of a little bit of space that's formed up on this top lane for him with that tier 1 down. And it's not an extremely significant tier 1 for the Radiant either. They're not going to miss it all that much. It doesn't afford them all that much control of anything. It's just some early gold for Fnatic and does help them equalize out. Helps them with the Broodmother down on bot. She's going to have her Soul Ring up, but again, still no XP on Trixie, and we are 4 minutes in. We've got Nexus now towards the middle lane. Yeah, he managed actually to pick up the 4-minute rune, which was a regen, so denying that to the Darkseer. And Hani now forced to Bottle Crow, so that's going to be flying back for him. Rizma low on life, needs to be a little bit careful, knows that the Scylla Bear is now up on the top lane, but Scylla now up to level 4, Trixie still on level 1. He has picked up a little bit of experience, but the push is now coming for Illuminate. Fortification going to pop off before the Edict is used. It is a rank 2 Edict. Trixie going to be able to get a little bit of XP under this tower, just hanging out for the moment, but Ilum really committing to this push. They don't have a lot to clear the creep waves, so Edict going to be soaked up a little bit there. Will take them slightly longer than the push that happened up on the top lane. And Sentry going to go down, but looks like Illuminate with their multiple heroes actually going to win in the Sentry trade there. So Trixie, his last Sentry wasted. He knows that there's one there, but not a whole lot that he can do about it. Just going to throw down another web, try and stay out of range. In comes the Courier, in fact, and just dropping off the Hand of Midas recipe. So Bignum's already got that. Dubas managing to pick up the last hit on that tower, but both teams just playing fairly defensively right now, a tier 1 each. So Ilum probably just a little bit ahead with that first blood picked up, and now Courier flying back. So JK gets his bottle delivered again. Yep, gonna have the bottle dropped off there, and some boots for him. Obviously can't gank as well as the TA, but both safe laners, both hard laners, so are gonna be happy with those towers going down. And now Trixie finally getting some levels up, now up to level 3. So 2 points in the spawn Spiderlings, getting extremely close to his Soul Ring as well. We've got a whole bunch of pulls and stacks running for Fnatic right now. The Chen, this is something that I've wanted to see for a long time, but we are finally seeing it now, and we've probably seen it in previous games, I just haven't been paying enough attention. But using his creeps to stack almost every single camp in the jungle, and Sven with the cleave, going to be cleaning those up reasonably quickly. He's already got an early point up in that, so not going to be able to hold the lane equilibrium in position, but No-Tail can just run pulls out of this jungle to make sure that they don't push out too far. Down on bot, JK with an Invis rune. Ion Shell now wearing off, so not getting all that much damage down, and now going to have to probably just head back towards mid. The 6-minute rune, that was the Invis, sorry, not paying enough attention there, so pick that up. And comparison on mid, not doing all that badly, 27-0, up against 32-17. So Chomi doing a good job, just kiting in and kiting outside of the range of the Ion Shell there, and still only doing it with 1 rank in the side blade, so still able to go his build to get the maximum amount of damage out. And more stacks attempted here by No-Tail, but as these camps get bigger, it is going to get a little bit more difficult. So maybe just going to be looking to clean that up, but some more action here on the middle lane, and JK in a little bit of trouble, going to pop off the Surge. It's only rank 1, so now running out, still needs to survive a few more seconds, going to throw the vacuum back. No-Tail maybe looking to send him back to base, but no. Stun is going to connect, and it's going to be a kill for Chomi there, so not even a relocate gank there, just walking up, and no wards for the Dire squad. Heading down towards this bottom lane, so support's easily able to come up for these ganks. And Scylla now just back in the jungle farming away, has an Orb of Venom picked up, so not extremely rich right now, but not doing too badly. Support's moving away, it means that Trixie has a little bit more space to farm, and again going to be doing as a Broodmother does, just continuing to push forever down on this bottom lane. Not a whole lot that Bignum can do to stop the spawn Spiderlings. Does have the Infest, but it is on cooldown. And Vacuum here on the middle lane. Hani just trying to aggro up the creeps. Nexus moving forward. He's now stuck back behind the tower. Is there any support coming in? No Tails here, but he doesn't have a disable on any of his creeps, so Nexus going to be fine to get out. TP comes in from Fly, but Nexus is absolutely fine. And 8-minute rune is the regen picked up on top by the Wisp. Era again now pushing the top lane just a little bit. There's no pulls running to keep him back and safe, so they're going to have to be reasonably careful, but they do have tabs on a number of heroes on the map right now, so they're going to be feeling reasonably safe. Looks like Illuminate want to be pushing on this middle lane right now. Fnatic, they've got good early Roshan potential with the Chen as well, and Trap going to be cleaned up there by Fnatic. Sentry Ward down, and Trixie having a much better time down in this bottom lane with the supports down, forced towards mid just to try and pick up these kills. And Mag going to TP up on top. There's some XP sitting around here, so he's not going to waste any of it at all. Era has actually opted for a Hand of Midas as well. Should have been paying attention to that. Trixie now slowed down, trying to get outside of the range of the sentry. Infest to go as well, cleaning up some of those spiderlings, doing some big damage. Trixie now realizing that he is outside of the range of the sentry, just hanging out on the edge of his web. So good awareness by him there, but needs to be extremely careful. He's back in range. Stun, not going to land. Trying to retreat out now. Can he make it away from these spirits? Can he get the TP? Another web thrown down. Oh, the spirits are still looking for him, but no, in the end, Trixie will be able to make it out. And now just going to pop the TP and get back home. So not going to be another death for the Broodmother. And good little play there. Was just outside of the range of that sentry down on this bottom lane. And Hani just sitting on top of mid right now, making sure that TA is here the whole time, keeping tabs on him. It's actually treads up for the TA, so a little bit more survivability there. Would normally see phase boots, but treads does offer that extra little bit of survivability when you know that you're not going to have any refraction charges because of the Darkseer sitting on this lane at all times. So the question right now is, how are both of these hard laners going to work out? It's basically pushers for each team. I mean, they've got the Syllabear, they've got the Broodmother on the opposite teams, so both of them fairly potent pushers. Syllabear probably has the edge in teamfights, and Hani on mid will spot out the supports here, so he is just going to be backing off. Looks like he's looking for the 10-minute rune perhaps, but it's not actually down there. No, it looks like he's just going to be shopping up, buying his mana boots there. And both carries right now do have a Hand of Midas picked up, so in terms of the late game potential, I mean, Sven obviously bigger in the team fights, but Lifestealer going to be sitting right on top of him, doing some great damage. And Bigdom now going to pop the Infest, just trying to clean up some more spiderlings, but not quite enough damage there. Trixie actually getting fairly low, needs to be careful, and just trying to harass with the spiderlings on mid. Here comes the push, TP support now coming in, Vacuum back, but the Edict is already harassing down this tower. Fortification to pop, Ice Path as well, just trying to keep the bear off. In comes the Chen creeps, and Honey's going to be trying to block off the bear there. Warcry to pop as well. Chomi on the retreat. And Trap to pop off, but not going to slow down the Darkseer here. Eating through all of those refraction charges, still staying on top of it. Team getting reasonably split up. Ice Path connects well. Fly, but there is no follow-up there, so both teams. Actually, Honey a long way from home. He's back behind the tower. Looks like this will be his death. Yeah, 4 heroes here. Probably just a little bit too far there on that dive, and so he will be killed off. And that is another kill for the Templar Assassin, and dying in that way, sort of nullifying a lot of the effectiveness that he's been having on this middle lane. And with that death as well, should be the loss of their tier 1 on mid. They're starting to lose control of their Roshan, but they do have the tier 2 down on bot. One more Ice Path to Fly, but Dubas going to be able to pick up that tower. And this is one rich Leshrac. He's already got some arcane boots picked up, and obviously with the Wisp tether can get a whole lot of mana from that. Bigdom getting fairly low, but probably just going to be waiting around for the Infest cooldown. Chomi as well getting low. The Spiderlings can tank this if Trixie wants to go for the dive. There are no charges left for him. Refraction now back up. Spiderlings just looking to get rid of those last few refraction charges, but Chomi getting low, needs to be extremely careful. In comes Hani, and now the meld, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and Bigdom actually just going to be TPing out, so TA actually going to be killed off there. And Fnatic might be able to pick up a tier 1 of their own down on this bottom lane. Fly's going to come in, he's got that 1 point up in the Liquid Fire, and with all of these Spiderlings, it's going to be absolutely no problem to tank up, so Fnatic going to be able to pick up this tower. Interesting to see who they're going to put this on. Might just be Trixie picking up this last hit here. Yeah, so Trixie going to be grabbing that up, helping him recover from the rough start that he had. How is Mag's farm going at the moment? Is something flying out to him right now? It's another Hand of Midas, so 2 Midas for Illuminate, playing reasonably defensively at the moment, and TA with those treads probably aiming even just a little bit more late game. Might not see a blink, something like a Desolator or a Manta style, more than likely in this game. And since we are getting past sort of the relevant part of Deny, is going to be switching over to Net Worth for the rest of the game, and I'll make sure to try and jump over to jump to buyback status when the team fights break out later in the game. But whether or not I manage to remember that is a completely different story. But both teams playing extremely defensively at the moment, and looks like both carries going to be heading for either an armlet. Well, armlet for the Nakes, might be a Helm of the Dominator for the Sven. Look to stack up these Ancients, but they do already have a Chen creep here, looking to do that. So Notiel just taking advantage of all of these dominated creeps to just stack up every single camp in the jungle. It's a lot of farm for the Sven, means that he does have a faster rate of farm than the Lifestealer has available to him. Lifestealer can obviously clean up the Ancients, but doesn't have the same sort of speed. So things going to be spread around a little bit more over on Illuminate. Lots of eggs sort of in the Sven basket, and Trixie going to come and steal that creep using the spawn spiderlings, putting some good pressure down on bot. But Illuminate come in with the relocate. They're not actually going to find anyone right now. They've still got a few seconds, might just try and find Trixie, but he's actually TPing home, so one wasted relocate, and not sure what they were looking for there. Just going to be dropping off Dubas, so doesn't have to waste his TP. The one small advantage of the relocate as well does mean that you can have the Leshrac come down, do a little bit of action, and then still have the TP on cooldown when it's necessary for the other lanes. And that can throw Fnatic off just a little bit in terms of trying to stay on top of TP cooldowns and the like. And it looks like it is going to be an armlet for Fnatic here as well, for Era as well. So it's Midas into armlet for both of these carries. And we'll see how it works out. Looks like Bignum is just a little bit ahead at the moment in terms of that net worth, but Era might have some things flying in. No, they're in the stash, so they are counting towards his net worth at the moment. Fly not going to be able to pick up some arcane boots, but again, both teams just farming up and not really looking to make anything happen for the moment. Again, we've got those triple relocate ganks available for Illuminate, so if they can spot anyone out on the map with these wards, then they can immediately have 3 heroes sort of on top of them. But Trixie now taking control of the Radiant jungle just for the minute, denying quite a bit of farm to the Lifestealer, and Fnatic, they're in great control of their own jungle at the moment. Again, still just stacking up. A little bit of a miss micro there perhaps by Notail. That will actually stack in the end, so not quite the biggest mistake, but I mean, he could have been stacking this one as well unless that was cleaned out. Can't quite see the dots on the minimap all the time. It is going to be a smoke to pop for Fnatic, looking for some pickoffs right now. JK going to be able to come down, spots at the 16-minute rune, so illusions there for him. Fnatic looking for a kill on this middle lane. They've got the Sven Stormbolt to initiate. They're looking for Chomi, but there's 3 heroes waiting in the wings. Illuminate maybe suspecting something is up. The Ice Path is going to pop, but in comes Dubas and Nexus as well. Great stun lands from the Leshrac. Nexus getting low. The Macropyre just enough to kill him off there. Well played by Fly, getting 1 kill, and Era deciding that he wants some more. Now coming back in, doesn't have the stun for just a second, but Ice Path going to connect. The wall is down. Hand of God to pop off as well. Ice Path, well, no, dual breath thrown through as well, but Dubas going to chop his way out of the trees there, and Sven now surged away, so it's still only the 1 kill, but Fnatic popping off everything on this middle lane. The wall is now down, but looks like the tier 1 is going to be taking a fall, and with that, Fnatic do claim control, or claim easy control of the Roshan pit, with the Radiant tier 1 being the only real option that they have to TP in. And at the same time, Trixie's going to be able to pick up a tower down on this bottom lane. Support's going to come in. Bagnum doesn't have that infest to try and clean up these spiderlings, and Trixie actually going to pop off the ultimate fortification to pop as well. It is slightly long duration, but Trixie looks like he might be able to make it out. The sentry actually pops down. Probably not going to be able to make it out here. Can he hide on the edge of the web? No, will be killed off here. So it's 2 towers and a kill in exchange for just 1 kill. Fnatic going to be happy with that trade, and as I said, now heading straight into the Roshan pit. And Era now looking quite rich. Relocate's actually going to go straight on the pit, and Nexus, he's immediately going to be bursted down, and Chomi's stuck up on the high ground. Misplays by Illuminate here. Macropyre going to get Chomi out. Is he going to be able to make it home right now? He's actually got a blink picked up, so a little bit of survivability there. Now juking, doesn't actually have a TP scroll. Where did he go? So going to be able to TP back on the retreat now. Looking towards a BKB. Dubas, he's in big trouble. Stun is actually going to connect. Ice Path to follow. It's going to be another kill for Fnatic. And Ion Shell on the Era going to be able to pick up that kill. It's going to be a Roshan as well for them. They are getting back into this game in a big way. Trixie now heading back down towards the bottom lane, but Illuminate, that relocate, it wasn't primed with a Nyx bomb. It wasn't anything like that. It was just two heroes coming in. So Wisp immediately bursted down, and TA quickly followed. So a little bit unfortunate there for them. Mag continues to farm up. Looks like he might actually just be going for a Radiant, something like that. Has 2.8k gold picked up, so if he was looking for a Maelstrom or something like that, could have already started buying up the components. So looks like it will just be a Radiance, and Illuminate again might just be looking to sit back on the late game. They do effectively have 3 carries. TA not the strongest carry in the world, but compare that to Fnatic, where Chen is going to be falling off a little bit in the late game, and Sven is really their big carry. Broodmother can't really stand up to the same degree, especially once Illuminate start getting some MKBs and stuff like that. Would be really relying on the Butterfly in the late game to be doing some good damage. And Illuminate, just a little bit of team jungling happening at the moment. Going to clear up these Ancients for a little bit of XP. I'm not sure how the levels shape up at the moment, and Fnatic actually a little bit ahead right now. We'll just switch over so you guys can have a look on the hero level. So the 2 Radiant supports are a little bit behind right now, but that is just the advantage of the Chen. He does effectively create an entire lane in the jungle. But anyway, going to be switching back to net worth as we have another smoke happening for Fnatic right now. Looks like they might just be heading down towards the bottom lane, looking to interrupt this lone druid just a little bit. He is getting some really good farm. And going to have the Hand of Midas off cooldown in 30 seconds as well. Worth noting with the lone druid before this action breaks, I actually know may have to hold that thought. We'll have to see. Is Mag going to be pushing out? There isn't really any support in the vicinity. They do have that relocate on the Wisp to bring them at any time, and Ice Path is going to connect. Dual Breath as well. Stun to follow up, but Mag is stuck in the Spiderling surround with the Macropyre. Holy crap! So Mag getting completely surrounded by the Spiderlings, could not get out of the Macropyre. Great little play there by Fnatic, so able to pick up that kill. And Mag getting close to his relic, but now set back just a little bit. The one thing that I was going to point out with the Syllabear is that if you've got a Hand of Midas and you use it while it's on your bear, then you don't get any of the bonus experience from it. And not sure if, well, I haven't been watching Mag closely enough to notice whether or not he's been switching it across for every single time he uses it, but it is worth noting if you're playing Syllabear, especially if you're playing Jungle Syllabear and you need to get those levels back up, make sure that you switch your Midas to your hero. But anyway, Fnatic now in a really good position, and again, I'm just going to be raving about that Spiderling block. That was crazy. Great little play by Fnatic there. So Trixie going for some reasonably early game sort of effective items right now up to 3.3k gold, however, so could still go for an Orchid or start heading towards that Butterfly anytime, but going for the Aquila and the Magic Wand. And actually going to pick up an Ultimate Orb here. No, actually selling that off. Going to buy the Yasha first, so it is going to be a Manta style. Even more pushing power, and Fnatic might just be looking to finish this game before that Syllabear becomes too scary, before the Nakes can start getting too many more items up. But Bignum, good response from him. He's going to pick up a Maelstrom. It is pretty much the best DPS item in the game, bar the Armlet, which he's already got, and does help clean up those Spiderlings, help stop the push. What is happening to Sven right now? He's just jungling up with the Armlet, just scaring me a little bit as I keep an eye on those HP bars. And just going to toggle on the Armlet, clean up a camp, toggle on the Armlet, clean up a camp. It is one rich Sven right now. He's got 5.4k gold up. Hasn't really given away what he's going to be going for. We might see the Mask of Madness or just pick up his BKB before that. Probably BKB and crit. The next 2 big items relocate now happening up on the top lane, but it's still not the triple relocate. Just bring the TA in. They're looking for Fly, but he's already got a Ghost Scepter and the Stormbolt to Fly. Is Nexus going to be killed off before he gets out? Is not able to make it home in time. To Chomi now turning around, but in comes Hani. Looks like it's going to be 2 kills for Fnatic. TA going to be cleaved down as well, and Hani in the end picking up that kill. So Illuminate really giving away their lives there. A little bit unfortunate, and this really early Ghost Scepter on Fly really shutting down that aggression from the Templar Assassin. And even had it been a triple gank with the Nyx, I think that Ghost Scepter would have been able to keep him alive long enough to get the Sven in and get that stun off. So Fnatic going to be happy with their position that they're in. TA is not going to be buying back. Does have it available, but not going to be looking to use it. So tier 2 on mid, going to take at least a little bit of damage. Illuminate now looking to come and defend. Fortification is going to pop off, buying enough time for the TA to come back. Wisp Spirits now looking to just harass a little bit. And Era, he's actually gone straight Daedalus. Doesn't have the BKB, but huge damage there for him. We're going to pop off the armlet. Obviously can't crit against structures, so not as big a help as it could be. But traded stuns there. Ice Path and the Leshrac stun. Bignum now forced to pop off the Rage as he gets vacuumed back. So on their retreat. Has the Midas off cooldown. Can he find a creep to use it on? No, actually just going to last hit that one there. Might be looking for one of these Chen creeps. They do look pretty juicy, but no, in the end, Notel going to be able to get his army out. And looks like here's the turnaround. Nexus a little bit too far out. Can he tether back to safety? No. The stun just lasts a little bit too long. It's 30 seconds till the Wisp is back up, and Fnatic might just be looking to push this advantage for the win, or at least for a Rax. And they do still have that wall available. Illuminate just spamming out as best they can, but they've only really got the Leshrac for defensive spam at the moment. And Trixie continues his pushing campaign down on bot. Dubas going to be looking to clean up all of those Spiderlings as best he can. Point booster picked up, so quite a bit of mana there for the Pulse Nova, but it's only a level 1 Pulse Nova. And Chomi getting fairly close to that BKB, but the death up on top lane, setting him back a little bit. Fnatic still just grouped up outside the base. We do have the Wisp respawning, has already respawned, and Era going to pop off that work ride. They're looking to go high ground. Are they going to pull these heroes away from bot? Is Trixie going to just continue to push in? Tier 3 now taking some damage, but Fnatic going to try and back off the open wounds. Is on Era. Can JK get the surge off? Era now just going to turn around. In comes Chomi with the blink. The wall is down, however, and Dubas has already been killed off. Era, too much cleave. 14k, or 1400 damage crit. And that is 4 heroes dead for Ilum. They're now going to throw the buybacks, but the tier 3 is already down, so Chomi and Mag looking to defend. Is it going to be enough? Era is fairly low. Chomi just might look for this pickoff, but the Surge is already on the Sven. Tier 3 on bot, not taking a lot of damage with the Surge. The vacuum comes back in. Mag now getting low. He's going to drop. And is Chomi going to go as well? Actually, Illuminate going to call the GG here. Fnatic just executing that push to perfection. Chomi going to hide in the meld, but GG is going to be called. A reasonably quick game there by Fnatic. Some small mistakes by Illuminate, not executing with the Wisp as well as they maybe would have hoped, but in the end the GG is going to be called. And the Sven, not a 14k crit, a little bit of a misspoken there by me. 1400 damage crit was absolutely terrifying. The Sven, he doesn't have that many items. He's got an armlet and a Daedalus. It's not all that much farm, but the damage is just through the roof. And the Hand of Midas buying him all of that extra XP to get those extra ranks up in the God's Strength, and just making the strength on the armlet absolutely ridiculous with that 200% bonus damage. But anyway, game is going to go to Fnatic, and I was expecting maybe a slightly longer game, but Fnatic had a game plan, executed theirs perfectly, and Illuminate execution maybe just a little bit lacking on their part. There are some kills that they maybe, well, they really weren't looking to be giving away. So anyway, that's going to be game. I'll just wait for the final score screen for the sake of the VODs. We've got Sven cleaving up inside the fountain, not able to get any crits, so not going to clean them up all that quickly. Fly still wants these kills. Everyone is disconnected. Vacuum to come back, keep them in the macro pyre. But it's just fountain camping for now. I'll just keep an eye on the Ancient. But anyway, that's going to be the game. So this was another game from Starseries Season 4. There's still a lot of Starseries 4 to go. We're only in sort of the league matchup stage where every team plays every other team for seeding. So if you're enjoying these games, remember to buy the ticket. It is a big help for the tournament. And it does help Valve out as well, so big thanks to them. Obviously, the game is going to be free to play, so you may as well spend a little bit of money. I sound like I'm selling OxyClean at the moment. But anyway, I've been Baseskip. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Remember to tune in tomorrow for the Defense of the Amateur, which is going to be over on my stream. If you've got any feedback on this cast, please leave a comment. Comment on the YouTube video. Send me an email or something along those lines if you've got more to say. But anyway, thanks guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.